Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Xinfin Network, aka XDC. Let's just dive in and let's first off start off with the price chart for XDC. So, one thing that is crazy to me is that a lot of people still overlook utility opportunities in this space simply because they're not really flashy. Listen. If I was to talk to somebody and I was like, "Hey, why don't you invest into this enterprise grade network that's helping trade finance?" What normal individual, all right, just the average individual out there, who's gonna find that interesting? Because again, this is what separates, um, the next 1% from just the normie investor jumping into crypto, right? Is utility. We're sitting here on the edge of an absolute monstrous transformative asset class that is still extremely undervalued. As we look at these networks, they do have this false promise of hope. Like, for an example, right, with XDC, we just seen CoinGecko post this. Now, yes, it is sponsored by Xinfin, meaning they paid for the sponsorship post. That doesn't matter. We don't really care about that. What we care about is the wording here. So this got posted on the 9th. Now, again, I want to take a quick look at this. I'm not going to read this entire thing or anything like that. I want you to put yourself in the shoes of just somebody that's jumping into crypto. They're learning about crypto for the first time. Okay? The XDC network is an enterprise-ready open source hybrid blockchain protocol specializing in tokenization for real-world decentralized finance. The company behind the technology Xinfin FinTech created the XDC network in 2017. The network is currently governed by the XDC Foundation, a nonprofit entity incorporated to support the growth, development, and adoption of the XDC network through community-driven efforts. Now, when we take a look at this, there is nothing in this article that is going to instantly allow for individuals to get hyped up over XDC. It's boring. It really is boring. Like, listen, as we look at a lot of these opportunities in this space, these are some of the most boring projects. And I don't mean that in a bad way at all. There's a lot of boring projects in this space. For an example, if I go over to the top tier list, XRP, boring. What you hear about XRP is that it's disrupting cross-border payments and finance and things like that. And most people don't even care about it, right? Let's see another one. XLM, right? XLM is another one sitting right here. Hedera. Like, a lot of these projects are extremely boring because guess what? They're focused on enterprise grade applications. Now let's take a look at a project that isn't boring. It got a ton of hype. Dogecoin. Dogecoin. It's complete garbage. And that's me being 100% real with you guys. Solana, another project that got, pushed and there was so much hype around it. The VCs were backing it, pushing it. Everybody was saying that this is it. This is the next Ethereum, blah blah blah. All this, like, you got to understand the difference in the way that these projects are marketed to individuals out there. When we look over here at XDC, you can see that it's not hype. It's, them being fully transparent on what XDC is doing, what they're trying to do here, the overall value behind it, and what they're really targeting here as well. And then you look here at Solana, and it's just like, this is a highly functional open source project that implements a new permissionless and high-speed layer 1 blockchain. It aims to scale throughput beyond what is typically achieved by popular blockchains while keeping costs low. Like, this is perfectly marketed to just like, anyone out there that's looking at this and they're like, wow, this is incredible, blah blah blah. And then you have, those influencers and those content creators that will tell you, Solana's doing this, Solana's doing that. There's so many huge things happening, blah blah blah. And then all of a sudden you actually look at like the on-chain transactions, and there's really not that much happening. Um, and again, like, you see the numbers being here, like 710,000 TPS without any scaling solutions needed. It's a third generation blockchain architecture designed to facilitate smart contracts, decentralized applications, dApp creation. The project supports an array of DeFi platforms as well as non-fungible token marketplaces. So, and then it goes on and on and on about, things that it does and all this kind of stuff. But ultimately, it's perfectly marketed and perfectly, broken down for the retail individual to understand everything around it and why it's so special. And then you have, the YouTubers that really kind of break it down and dumb it down fully for anybody out there that does want to learn about what Solana is. Now, when we take a look at what Xinfin is doing and when we take a look at what XDC has been doing, a lot of what we talk about, it's just boring. Right? It's enterprise grade applications. It's trade finance. It's, things that are, pretty oblivious to most individuals out there. Like nobody really pays attention to a lot of these major market opportunities that ultimately at the end of the day, these networks will be the tech behind and power those huge use cases within crypto. And yeah, it might be boring, but right now, for what we are seeing around, crypto and crypto adoption, like we have these institutional grade investors sitting on the sidelines waiting to buy, waiting to invest. Like this response here, like they're interested but not allowed. Like there's massive amounts of money just waiting on the other side of the fence. And that fence is still locked right now by, issues with regulatory frameworks, regulatory guidelines, things like that. And 91% of institutional investors are interested in buying digital assets. This is from a BNY Mellon survey. And there's so many institutional grade investors out there just waiting to jump in. XRP, right? Bank of America. Bank of America wants to utilize on-demand liquidity powered XRP. But guess what? They have to wait. And most major institutional investors are doing the same thing. They're just waiting. They have to be patient. They're on the sidelines waiting. And guess what? Do you think those institutional investors are going to jump into Dogecoin? Let me ask you this. Do you think institutional grade investors care about what the retail market is hyped up about? AI technology and gaming and the metaverse and this, that. Like, no. No. Listen, they are here for applications that matter. DeFi, disruption to the financial system, disruption to the trade finance area. Like Xinfin is literally disrupting the trade finance market with massive amounts of other names tied to it through the DNI, the TFDI as well. And again, I really think that people need to pay attention to things that are boring because this is going to open the door for incredible opportunities. And yes, there's a ton of solutions. Like here are the solutions. So first off, by the way, XDC.org, this is the foundation. They fully just rebranded their entire website. And by the way, this website is so unique, so different, and so incredible. I really have to say, like, this is something special. And by the way, this is fully designed and developed to cater to the enterprise grade market, not the retail. You want to see a website that's catered to the retail sector? Go to Solana's website. Solana's website is perfectly designed, developed to be flashy for the retail sector. Look at all these awesome names down here. Marketing it. Look at the active accounts. Like retail just loves numbers. They love looking at numbers and like, oh wow, join a community of millions. Oh, that means that this is incredible. Like all of the like a lot of these projects are catering to the retail sector. These projects that are boring, like XDC Network is an enterprise grade open source blockchain protocol, an EVM compatible chain with enforceable smart contracts. It is uniquely suited to revolutionize. Like by the time that I read that, I'm out. Right, as a normie investor. But that's why I say, like, you guys out there that understand the value behind this, like, we are liquefying the trade finance industry through tokenization. And like this is such a huge opportunity that like most people don't realize how big of an opportunity this actually is, right? So that's why when we look at the solutions behind the XDC network, right? Global trade finance. This is what we personally love to look at. We love to look at trade finance because of how big of an opportunity this actually is, because this is going to be a global initiative. This is going to be a harmonized approach to disrupting and really embracing a digitized approach to not only revolutionizing, but upgrading what we already have around trade finance. That's why it's so important right now to most people out there that are, visionaries behind technology to pay attention to these networks that nobody really cares about. Like everybody's sitting here saying like, when moon? Like when is XDC going to go to the moon? Like when is XDC going to, jump out to multiples of dollars? Like people need to be patient. These are enterprise grade solutions. I know we all want to make money. We all want to make as much money as possible in the shortest amount of time. But things like this, like enterprise grade use cases and applications take time. Hedera is a perfect example of this. For those out there that are holding HBAR, you guys are probably all along with me with the journey that we've been focused on Hedera for a while. We got our first, live enterprise grade use case just now in 2023. So let's think about that, right? It took 2 years from the time that we started talking about Hedera to have a fully live enterprise grade application. And that's fully live on the mainnet, transacting every single day, 500 TPS. So yes, things do take time, but it's worth it to be patient. And when we take a look at this, like things are actually being built out here. Like this is real world applications, asset tokenization. We talked about tokenization, how this is going to be, the asset tokenization space could be a $100 trillion market by itself. Global real estate, capital markets. I mean, everything that you could see around you that has some sort of value tied to it will be tokenized. And there's so much more here as well. Like you could see all of the applications that are being built out on Xinfin and the XDC network. But most of this, it's just not exciting. It's not flashy to the retail sector. This is why like most of the coins that are moving, like when we go over here to like the 7 day span, to most of these tokens that are moving, like minus the graph because we've talked about the graph on this channel, but like a lot of these tokens that start getting pumped and they start moving and all that kind of stuff, like I'm talking about the ones that are up like an astronomical amount. It really is mainly AI technology and the next trend that everyone's jumping on and this, that, and flashiness, like the NFT market and the metaverse and like it's so easy to cater to the retail sector, but it's so hard to get through to people on just how big of an opportunity we have here through like just trade finance alone. This is a $19 trillion technology gap that is being filled through something like XDC. Like Xinfin is the only network out there actually focused on trade finance use cases, right? So think about how big of an opportunity that we have here. Like this is something very, very special. And you could see like everything around this. Like I really want everyone to understand why we focus on these projects. Like we focus on these projects because nobody really cares about utility right now at this current moment in time, right? But in time, we will see that. We will see, utility being shined upon, and we will see utility take over in the space. And it's just a matter of time. There was a post actually that Andre Casterman quoted over on LinkedIn. And I seen this, and I was just like, this is very, very interesting. Not because of what it says, but because of where we are headed, right? This is why I say like things do take time. Like this is the type of things that we've been focused on for a very long time on this channel because I know it kind of gets annoying. It gets extremely repetitive going over the fact that like, hey, trade finance is going to be great. Hey, trade finance is going to be big. This, that, like, and everyone's just sitting there like, okay, well, when? I get it. Okay, but look at what's happening, right? Regulation. So, next virtual stop at a Ford Consulting annual conference on fintech and regulation with an impressive lineup of policymakers and central banks. Looking forward to it. I will focus on the following themes: the future of crypto assets, digital assets, and stablecoins, the use of AI, DLT, and open sources in financial services, the role of technology in fighting anti money laundering, the importance of global cooperation. He's quoting the ITFA, which we've talked about the ITFA many times in the past. Yes, they are a big giant. There will be 60 speakers with 1,000 attendees. And what this will be focused on, like, look at this speakers list here. Like these are not your typical everyday names. Like these are some of the largest like chairs out there around like regulators, financial service leaders. I mean like these are huge, huge names, right? And the themes that they're exploring is is things that are starting to be realized in around crypto, right? The future of banking and innovative payments and the role of the digital euro, the implications of technology for supervision, the role of data aggregation or aggregators in the financial services ecosystem, the future of crypto assets, digital assets, and stablecoins, the use of AI, DLT, and open sources in financial services, the importance of cybersecurity, the role of technology in fighting anti-money laundering, the role of technological change in wholesale securities markets, and the importance of global cooperation. As we look at this, for anybody out there, and I don't mean to talk about like age or anything like that, but if you're under 30 years old and you don't see the vision behind this market right now, you're missing out on a huge opportunity. And for anybody 30 plus, again, like I don't mean to come for age, but I'm just saying like anybody 30 plus, you probably already are aware of this. The reason why I bring up the age gap is because a lot of young individuals out there are missing out on this technological revolution. They think crypto and they don't really care about it. But for those out there that are 30 plus, you've gone through some of the largest evolutions of technology. You've seen the internet morph into what it is today. You've seen technology through mobile phones and mobile devices evolutionize before your eyes and see how large of an opportunity those markets actually were. And now we're seeing that, except on a much larger scale. For those that are younger, they don't really see this because they didn't experience that just yet. We've seen technology kind of evolutionize a little bit throughout our lifetime, but for the most part, we haven't seen an asset class and a technology class as big as crypto to the point where it's going to revolutionize and ultimately disrupt entire sectors. And these are sectors that are not worth, maybe a couple $100 billion. No, these are sectors worth a couple $100 trillion. So I think that these networks like XDC, for example, XDC, I believe, is very, very lucrative for the trade finance and financial services market. In fact, I believe that XDC is going to surprise a lot of people when it does break out. Yes, we have been waiting for that. We've been trading in this diagonal sort of sideways motion, but this is all accumulation in my opinion. Like this is giving us an incredible opportunity to accumulate this token before it does break out. My target on this is like anywhere between 30 cents to 50 cents for a nice 10x plus gain. But ultimately, that's short-term price action. Long-term, I'm looking at multiples of dollars. I mean, like at $1, this thing fully diluted market cap, $37.7 billion. Let's go over to the top 10 list real quick. $37.7 billion would put us at number 5, right around number 5. Look at some of these other tokens. Like you're seeing a $19.5 billion market cap, 16.1, 12.5. Like market cap, yeah, doesn't really matter too much long term. I'm just saying, like in the short term aspect, like think about how undervalued XDC actually is right now. As we have, we're becoming a leader in the tech stack around trade finance. And it's only a matter of time before people realize this. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because I'm a free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As I hope that you all have a beautiful day, beautiful night. Wherever you guys are on this beautiful world, it's been Nick. Peace out, guys.